Hi, I'm Sierra Edwards, proud dog mom and publishing specialist at BookBaby. You spent a lot of time writing, editing, and finalizing your manuscript. During that time, you've probably imagined seeing your cover design, paging through your book, and sharing the book with everyone. What does the actual book look like in those moments? Is it hardcover or paperback? What shape is it? What are the actual dimensions of the book? How big will the pages need to be to contain your epic story or show off your larger-than-life illustrations? You've already had to make so many decisions about plot and characters. How do you figure out the best size book for you? The trim size is the actual size of the printed book you're producing, the physical dimensions of the book. As a self-published author, the choice is ultimately up to you, but every genre comes with industry recommendations. Trim sizes normally fit into two buckets: portrait and landscape. Portrait books are taller than they are wide, and landscape books are wider than they are tall. In the publishing industry, measurements are always given as width by height. This is important when considering an 8.5 by 11 portrait versus an 11 by 8.5 landscape book. Most fiction authors will want to choose between two standard trim sizes: digest, which is 5.5 inches wide by 8.5 inches tall, and the US trade size, which is 6 by 9 inches. These are the recommended trim sizes for fiction, including sci-fi, romance, and fantasy, as well as many nonfiction titles, including memoirs, business books, self-help books, history, and faith-based works. As a general rule, nonfiction and hardcover fiction are produced at the 6 by 9 trade size, while paperback fiction is commonly at the slightly smaller 5.5 by 8.5 digest size. These two trim sizes have become fairly interchangeable over the last 20 years, and your decision could come down to an aesthetic or a financial choice. For example, if you're a romance author with a 50,000-word manuscript, you might choose to go with the digest size, just as a nod to tradition or as a means of increasing your page count. The smaller the page size means fewer words per page, which also translates to more pages and a heftier final book. Or you might opt for the trade size to allow more white space on the page and provide a lighter, more relaxed reading experience. For authors publishing cookbooks, children's books, and art and photography books, there are more options to choose from. In addition to the standard portrait options I mentioned, you can choose from landscape and square options in a variety of sizes. In the case of children's books and photo books, the illustration and artwork may dictate the shape of your book. That said, you also need to consider print-on-demand distribution, which may impact the size that you choose. Your photos might look great at a large 12 by 9 inch landscape, but large books, especially landscape-oriented books, aren't available through many print-on-demand distributors. A smaller landscape size, like a 9 by 7 or even an 8.5 inch square book, may be a better choice. The 9 by 7 inch landscape is perfect for children's books, and the 8.5 square trim size is ideal for cookbooks. You could even decide to produce your book in two different trim sizes. Some BookBaby authors will create a 9 by 7 children's book for print-on-demand distribution and an 11 by 8.5 version to sell through bookshop and at in-person events. One final thought. You're probably composing your manuscript in Microsoft Word or another word processing program. The default page size in those programs is typically US letter, 8.5 by 11. This is a great size for composition, regardless of your book's final trim size. Of course, that means that the page count of your manuscript will not be the same as the page count of your 6 by 9 inch book. We have a handy chart on our website that gives a rough translation to page count based on your word count, but those details will emerge once you get to the interior formatting stage. The team at BookBaby is here to answer all your questions to help you choose the trim size and book format that will turn your manuscript into a beautiful book. You can email us at info@bookbaby.com, or you can call 877-961-6878 and get started with us today.